I'm trying to make a few little videos here regarding this. I mean, basically, a lot of times a person will ask me when I'm explaining that the end of time was in the ancient past and that we actually live in the new heaven and new earth right now. Everything is done. They look at me like I'm crazy. And then they want to ask a lot of individual questions about all individual little pieces. What about this little section of Revelation? Or what about this little piece here in Zechariah, you know? And it's kind of funny because I respect that. I understand that. But I feel like they're missing the point of what I'm trying to make. What I'm talking about is the text sets up these logical fallouts that just don't create space for the possibility for the event to be in our future. Here's an example. Now in Matthew 5:17 and 18, Jesus says, "Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled." Now, when Jesus made this statement, 100% of the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, was in place. But he said, until heaven and earth pass away, not one jot, nor one tittle of the law will pass away until all is fulfilled. Look at your present day. In your present day, none of the old covenant is in effect. None of it. But when Jesus made that statement, 100% of the old covenant was in place. Read the Torah. You'll see that you don't do the majority of the things that are there. One day I was reading Leviticus and I noticed that chapters 1 through 10, there was zero application. And then in chapter 11, we apply the food law. Do you see what I'm saying? Jesus said, until heaven and earth pass, not one jot nor one tittle of the law will pass away until all has been fulfilled. The Israelite focuses on the heaven and earth. The Christian, in general, focuses on the heaven and earth because they read in Revelation and elsewhere that heaven and earth will pass away. And they view this as being the actual sky and the actual ground. And I say, there it is again. You're creating a logical fallacy. Jesus said that not one jot nor one tittle of the law will pass away until all is fulfilled. When he said it, all the jots and tittles, every last bit of the Torah was in effect. But today, these jots and tittles are not in effect. This stuff is gone. Do you see what I mean? By necessity, heaven and earth has passed. And guess what? That also means the heaven and earth is figurative. It doesn't actually mean the actual sky and the actual ground. And this is what I mean. A person will ask me, where do you come to these conclusions? The answer, it's a logical fallout. You got to recognize the text is loaded with these logical fallouts, where if you put the return of the Messiah in our future, you create logical fallacies in the text. Not one jot nor one tittle of the law will pass until all has been fulfilled. Take note, a jot and a tittle is the smallest portion. Read the text. None of this stuff is in existence today, but it was all in existence when Jesus said this. So the question then becomes, when did they stop being in existence? And the answer every time, it's 70 AD. The removal of the old covenant is the passage of heaven and earth. It's just logical fallout. I hope that makes sense.